And the next time that you hit this button, either through, you can use the cable release up here, which threads in, standard thread, or you can hit it with your finger here. You can trip it here, or you can trip it here. Okay. Now, like I said before, on the side there is some dials and knobs. And what it is, on a speed graphic as opposed to a crown graphic, you have the ability to have a focal plane shutter that's in the camera. So your lens doesn't have to have a shutter built into it. You can use what's called a barrel lens, which has no shutter, and use the focal plane shutter on the back. And there's different settings for that. Right now it's set on 0. Okay? If I wind this knob up until it'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe it goes up to 8 or 9. There's a corresponding chart on here that will tell you what the shutter speed would be in relation to that. I don't use it. I have a shutter built into the lens, so I really don't need to use that, and I probably never will use it. You may never use it either, but at any rate, now we're ready to make an exposure, to make a print, a picture. We have the shutter speed and aperture set. We have our composition done. The shutter is cocked. You're ready to go. Okay, around the back here, I'm going to close up this flap here for the viewing, because we don't need to see the viewing because our film is going to block that anyway. You will notice that there is like a trap door right here. Okay? That is for your film plates. I'll grab a film plate here. This is a film plate. Okay? Each frame is loaded individually, sheet film, into the holder. There's a really good video online about how to do that already. If you Google loading 4x5 film holders, there's a great video. Actually, there's a lot of great videos on how to do it. And that's when I first started. That's how. Actually, it was way before that, but that's how I recently, because I've forgotten how to use it in so long, that how to load it. So let's say that you have your film is loaded into here. Okay, it's ready to go. I can do this with one hand. Slide it in. Okay, I have no way to hold this here. Okay. I've slid it in, and it's all the way. It will lock in there. Okay, now that film plate is loaded. The one furthest back here, there'll be a slide. There's actually two. There's a plate on each side of this film holder. Okay, the one you want to expose is the one, of course, that is going to get light hit to it first, which is going to be the forward one. Shutter's cocked. Exposure set. It's not open. The next time I hit that shutter is going to be make an exposure. Okay. Now we have what's called a dark slide. And on these holders, there's a silver side to this, and there's a black side to this. Okay. Silver means that it hasn't been exposed yet. Black means that it has. Okay. You pull this slide out all the way. Now you have exposed that sheet. Actually, you haven't exposed it to anything yet. But next time that we hit that shutter, it's going to expose it to light, and we're going to make the image. Okay? So, we're ready to go. We have it aimed at what we want to take a picture of. We have the shutter set. Everything's ready to go. The next thing to do is, if you have a cable release, which goes right here on the lens, hit the cable release and put the dark slide back in, turning it over to the black side, facing out. Okay. Well, let's make the exposure. I'm going to trip the shutter. Okay, we heard that. There's no advance, of course. Now that film is exposed, and we're going to put the dark slide back in. There's a little lock. We're going to lock that, and it's to the black side, means that it's been exposed. And that's it. You can pull this right out and flip it over. If you want to take another picture, turn it over to the silver side here. We got a black side because that's been exposed, and a silver side. And I will load that back in here for you single-handedly. A little hard to do. All right. Okay, and it will stop. And you could actually, since you already have your composition, if you wanted to change exposure or something like that, overexpose it or underexpose it, you can set that again. Cock the shutter. Oops. Okay, shutter is cocked, it's down. And pull out your dark slide. Okay. Hit it. Put your dark slide back in, flipping it over to the black side. All right, lock that down. A little lock. And that's it. I could pull this out. And now I have a plate with 2 exposures. Done. Send that off to your lab, and you've got your pictures. It's a time-consuming process. It takes about, you can see how long that I explained it takes. It takes about 15, 20 minutes to, I mean, possibly longer because I just kind of, you know, did a little exposure real quick. But composition-wise, you can spend up to 20, 30 minutes setting up a shot, maybe longer, waiting for the light to change, where the light be right, or waiting for, you know, whatever it is to happen. So let's put this away. I'm going to put my lens cap back on. All right, you got a nice Carl Zeiss lens cap as well. It's beautiful. Actually, a beautiful lens, beautiful camera. All right, we're going to use these, push these in together, and make sure it lines up on the rails to go back in. That's really easy to do. And to close this, you push down on this rail, okay? And you have to do both of them. Boom, okay? Now it's sprung, it's ready to go back in. Oops, I made a mistake here. I didn't turn these rails all the way in. I was focusing, and I didn't turn these rails all the way in. Okay, so it won't close with these rails. All right, now we can lock it back in, and we are back to being a box again, basically, how you're going to get it. So that's it. I'm sure that there's a lot of questions that you may have, but I hope this answers most of them. If there's anything I've forgotten, let me know. But that is how to make an exposure, make a picture with this particular late 1940s era speed graphic Navy issue that you got. So have a good day. I hope this helps, and see you later.